ANC Youth League wrapping up its conference today after new leaders were elected last night. Newzroom Afrika's Mzwandile Masina is in Newzroom now and joins us now for an update. Mzwandile, we saw the election of the new leaders of the ANC Youth League, and today the delegates now wrapping up that conference.
Yes, of course, they are wrapping up and also just waiting for the president to obviously give that address. We do know that's supposed to happen at about 1 o'clock, and we've heard also quite a lot of announcements asking them to go inside for plenary. But we do have now Mzwandile Masina, who is the ANC NEC member, and of course you have been delegated here to make sure that the process here goes very well. Tell us about what has happened so far.
Well, thank you very much. I think so far we have been able to proceed with the Congress, even though we started a bit late, but I must say that the credentials were adopted smoothly, and every branch agreed that it was a way to go, and then subsequently a political report as well as the message from the African National Congress, which was delivered by our SG, Comrade Fikile Mbalula, it was delivered, and then we then went on to proceed with the election of the top six, which top six was duly uncontested, and we are today reconvening again with the hope of finalizing the commissions. There is about 8 or 9 commissions that are being undertaken at plenary now, and then after those there will be the election of the additional members, and we hope that we'll be able to conclude that process and be able to announce the leadership collective. As the African National Congress, we're happy that we finally have the Youth League of the African National Congress.
And talking about the Youth League, what sort of role are you expecting this Youth League to play?
Well, the Youth League will have to really do a lot of work around the twin task, which is about ensuring that they galvanize young people in the interest of the African National Congress, but also to champion their interests, because as you know that issues of unemployment, inequality, and so on, they affect mainly the youth of South Africa. So it will be important that therefore all those issues are placed before the African National Congress, which is a governing party, so that we can ensure that young people of different race, different colors are not worse off as they are. You know, there was something very moving that happened last night when the acting convener was delivering the political report. She tested how many of those who were delegated here who were not employed. Almost 80% of the whole raised their hands, which tells you that there is a ticking time bomb. This Youth League must make sure that it keeps the ANC and its government on its toes to address issues of young people in the main.
And I mean, anyone, when you look at the fact that it's been 8 years, one can say that it's a bit too late though, isn't it?
Well, it's never too late. I think that there's an opportunity. What preoccupies us is that the renewal is now on the cards, and let's give this ANC Youth League a chance. There would have been mistakes, and one lesson that the ANC probably will have to learn out of all this is that disbanding structures is not necessarily a solution. It creates anarchy, havoc, because some of those that get to be placed in this task team, they come here to advance their interests, which have very little to do with the organization, which situation is unfortunate. And we've seen some of the letters being thrown around by those that we have entrusted with the responsibility to rebuild the Youth League. They have become the complainant. It's like they don't want the Congress to sit. It's unfortunate. So I'm hoping that the ANC, as the ANC leadership, all of us collectively, the dissolving structures should be a last resort from all of us. So it shouldn't be a starting point when there are issues. I think that's one lesson that all of us must take away here. But secondly, that the 8 years vacuum has really not been done ANC well. If you look at our performance, even in terms of the electoral outcome, you can tell that we didn't have those the structures of the Youth League and so on, which was actively involved in recruiting and ensuring that many young people are able to to participate in a democratic project. And as a result, the last 2 elections, in particular 2019 and 2021, were not very good for the African National Congress. I hope that this will mark a new beginning for the organization.
And I mean, when you talk about elections, we saw that during the municipal election, about 8 million people deciding to vote. That's quite a small number compared to what this country is. Isn't that concerning in itself that such little number of people are willing to vote? But also of that, you notice that young people don't actually isn't actually interested in these politics not that much anymore.
Well, look, I think I wouldn't want to say that young people are not necessarily interested in politics. I would want to say that democracy is maturing. People are beginning to have lots of choices. Some of the choices, others are choosing not to vote. That's why you need stronger political organizations that are going to encourage particularly the youth so that they can participate in a democratic project.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. That is, of course, Mzwandile Masina speaking to us about the importance of voting. And we know that more young people haven't been voting at this point. But he's saying that the ANC Youth League needs to be a voice for those young people and it needs to be an option. But we, of course, will remain to see that in time.
Right. Nzwandile Masina, thank you for that update.